Hello, 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 everybody. All right. Let's start things off with the last campaign. I am working on the ending, so give me some time. Other than that, new campaign. Say hello, new people. Other than chaos over there.
Hello.
Hola.
All right.
I have been
So,
silenced.
yes, yes, you have. So, session 0. All right, so I have a bit of a synopsis of the world, and then we're going to start. Um, and then we're going to start with a sort of world building thing where you guys will decide how you start. And you'll have different options to choose from to kind of alter things, and it'll help with character creation and whatnot. But let's start with the synopsis of the world itself. All right. This world is one which we all know very well. It is our modern world. In the year 2034, World War III began, with nuclear bombs at the ready. The first to be hit was New York, and after a mere 10 days, all of the world's governments and most of major cities across the world have been completely and utterly nuked to all hell. And that ushered in a nuclear winter. Southern countries, such as like Australia, Argentina, and like the southern tip of Chile, they didn't get hit as badly, but they're still majorly affected by the nuclear winter. The winter lasted much longer than what scientists predicted. And as such, within the first couple years of the nuclear winter, most of humanity retreated underground into bunkers of sorts. With humanity observing from the underground, the nuclear winter lasted for 50 years. Whilst each year the radiation just never going away. After the nuclear winter ended, radiation started to kind of tip downwards. And the planet started to get a little bit better year by year. Just a little bit. A portion of humanity changed, however, due to, at first, they thought it was radiation. Later on, through the discovery of magic, they discovered it was most likely that changed a portion of the population. Elves, dwarves. Is it Kenders?
Kinders?
Kenders?
That sounds like a name of something.
I never remember how to pronounce this race. And shifters were the first to be categorized and sort of born from the section off of human. At first, they were subjugated. Now, by the time that you all will be starting, that subjugation has ended and everyone kind of works together. And due to radiation and magic and stuff, the more generations that were born, which is at this point is very several, a multitude of sub races have been categorized as well. So you'll have all the sub races to choose from of the races that are restricted to you. Yeah, I just did that. Those born after the fallout were able to use magic. However, the humans that were born and lived before the fallout were not. And that led to some tension, by the time we start, that tension's kind of gone because most of those people, because pretty much every single one of those people are dead because they outlived their lives and just died from old age or from trying to survive and something goes wrong and stuff like that.
Everyone dies of old age by the time they're 50.
I won't go into that bit until we finish with this, and I won't finish with this bit either. Many throughout here, however, technology has kind of stagnated and gone backwards. Cell phones, Bluetooth, cell reception, a lot of these things use like radio waves, which is a form of radiation. And due to the nuclear fallout, most of that type of communication has been made non-usable. They are kaput. Some underground communities have been able to connect with each other via like underground tunnels or through wiring, like Ethernet wiring and like electrical wiring and stuff. They've been able to connect via those infrastructures that are buried underground in the earth. Through that, there are a good number of the underground communities that have just straight out outlawed magic and the practice thereof and any type of knowledge to do with it. Completely outlawed. Others heavily restricted, but not completely outlawed. And that is sort of a thing that kind of runs throughout communities. There are communities that go, you have magic, who cares? To humanity and to a lot of these, and to literally all races, magic is a very new concept. So many of the spells and stuff are sort of unknown. So you're kind of like grasping at straws whenever you cast something. You're like, I don't really know the full extent to this, but like, boom. That kind of thing. I can't go into that. Okay, so do you want me to go into the races that are restricted now or after we do the world building?
Do the world building first, right?
So let's mention it first. Just quickly mention, here are the races, and then they can be like, oh, I won't have access to this one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Also,
just
we just have
quickly list it, and then afterwards.
I don't
fair enough.
think the list doesn't change. I don't think there's anything that will affect anything.
Well, I don't know.
I mostly mean like, oh, if someone thinks like, ooh, I want to be in a real magical place because I'm gonna be this maybe, and then
Okay.
it's like, oh wait, I can't be that.
All right, I'll start then. I'm not listing sub races. So like elves, there are a shit ton of sub races. I'm not gonna go through all of them.
Cool. Yeah, major races.
Just know that you can choose the sub races. This is just like the base race of it. I'm just not gonna go through like elves, sea elves, water elves. Like I'm not doing that.
Sounds good.
All right, so you have 28 total to choose from. And some of these are going to be shared with you via the campaign. They do have to be enabled in a section of when you're creating the character sheet, because they are from a third-party book. Some of these races, so like there's a separate section, and we'll get to that when we do it. But if some of them don't sound familiar, that is why. So, you have the elves, you have the dwarves, you have the kender, you have the shifters, You have Aarakocra, Herringon, Kenku, Lizardfolk, Tabaxi, Tortle, Gif, Hendozi, Thrykin, Owlin, Leonin, Loxodon. I think that's how you pronounce that one.
That sounds right.
Elephant.
More, yeah, the Luxodons.
Yeah. Locathahan, Grung.
Really?
Oi. Servan, Corvum, Gallius, Hedge, Jarbine, Luma. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Mapatch, maybe? Raptor, String, Vulpin.
Okay.
And then human. I didn't have that on here. Why do I not have human on here?
Uh,
Like.
Hey, it got to everyone. There's no more human.
okay.
Nope. I'm adding human.
How about custom lineage? Is how
So, custom lineage, I need to know what you're basing them off of.
in my head, it's always two like races, kind of like together, and then they make
Okay.
Crossbreed.
an abomination.
Using that to do hybrids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I
don't used to
will
see that,
say,
I guess.
all right, so we'll start with the world building. I lied. The list does change. The list does actually change. I did lie there. I may make exceptions, but you have to make a really good case for me to make an exception here. So let me export this and let me send it all over. Do I have a way of? I do have a way of bringing it over. Okay, I'm going to export as PDF. Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna click on the old file that is this one. I'm gonna replace it. That way I don't fuck up and give you the wrong thing. Okay, let me, because this really quickly. Boop. No one can see anything. Oh no. Upload file.
You made me blind in real life.
Oh no. I've killed him.
You're gonna share screen with us once we.
Oh yeah, I can do share screen. There you go. So you have the shared screen and you also have the document. Oh, I don't want this though. Okay. I don't need you to save me resources. I'm good on that.
I don't need you anymore. Drops.
It constantly pauses. Okay. All right. So we have this bit, which is the start. So you have two to choose from. You can either, and this changes timeline a little bit, and it doesn't change the story, but it changes the timeline of events a little bit. Whereas if you emerge from the shelter, you are emerging, that would happen first in the timeline compared to adventuring from home, which is like a couple, like probably like a century or two afterwards, after this emerging from shelter. So you have a choice between either one. Both have their perks, both have their benefits. The emerging from the shelter is the one that restricts the races down, because you're only gonna have access to human, elves, dwarves, kender, and shifter as they are the only ones that exist um, within the shelters.
You said kinder, humans, shifters, and elves,
And dwarves.
and dwarves.
Yeah. If you do adventuring from home, you'll have access to the whole list. But out of that 28 race list, or 29 now, because I added human, because I apparently forgot human somehow.
Humans even exist. Let's be honest.
I don't know. We're just figments of imagination. Do we even really exist? Out of the 29 races, that is all that's going to be in the world.
Of humanoids. There are more monsters and beasts than
Whoa,
stuff, I presume.
yes. Yes, there are. Got that. Yes, there are. All right, so choose. Which do you want to start?
Okay.
This is a group meeting then for this.
Yes, this is a group thing. This is between all of you.
We will choose between the three of us.
Okay.
I'm open to underground because that's interesting, but I also would.
I want to hard mode. Let's go up from home.
That would actually be the easier one.
Oh, will it? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
You will have far less challenges adventuring from home.
It gives us a home base.
Either both of them give you a home base, but with adventuring from home, you will know common.
Oh, you don't know common and leaving shelter?
Shelter?
You won't
God.
know the outside what came of common. You'll know the shelters like common, which is like English, but you won't know like the races
I would
from
consider
outside.
that we don't know common. Maybe we know
You won't
Underdark
know.
or whatever, but
Yeah. You won't know what languages people speak outside, which
We'll
is
know
one
Old
of the
Age
things
Common,
that you
not
can
New
get
Age.
to help
Yeah.
you.
We'll be learning British Common, which is terrible common.
okay. I am also kind of interested in playing one of the races that wouldn't be able to go from emergence from shelter, so I'm kind of split.
So, I said there are exceptions. I am making an exception. It's just you got to make a good case as to why you'd be there.
Oh yeah, but we need to pick one,
Mm-hmm.
and I am bringing up the differences between the two.
Yes.
The emerging from shelter might have more challenge and some interesting stories with it, but you will legitimately have more race options, which might include the one you want to play.
Don't forget you
in
have all the
Adventure
sub
from Home.
races, so it kind of evens out because a lot
Or
of
are
animal
humans,
sub
elves, and
races
dwarves-
don't have like any sort of sub race to them, whereas
Are those
elf
5
has
races
like
only
50.
from shelters?
Huh?
Are those 5 races only from shelters?
Yes.
Okay, so we will either pick an entire group of, barring exceptions, those 5 races, or an entire group of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm perfectly cool with either. Let's say this: like, I'm perfectly with the rules set on me. I'm always okay with whatever we choose. I guess in my head, the more rules are better because it makes me like less, like, oh, I don't have to go
Yeah.
super crazy. But if you want to play a certain race, and
Well, yeah, I'll be happy with either if we end up voting, but if we're gonna vote, I'll do it for adventuring from home just because I'm.
I'll pick shelter just to be difficult and let the last guy.
All right.
Oh,
Put it
how
on him.
dare.
It's your
Cool.
decision. I personally would like emerging from shelter, but I have no stake in this.
You can be tiebreaker out of the 4 of us.
Like, they both sound so nice.
Well, the DM says it's cool if you put up a compelling story, if you pick a different race in the shelter.
Yeah, it's you can do that stuff. That's one of the major differences between the two that we can know of right now. Of which which list of races is more interesting to you?
Go.
I mean, all of it's really interesting to me. So
Ooh.
That's why I let you pick the last one because I
Have
did
you
not
have
want
you
that
guys ever
question.
seen City of Ember? Or read the book?
no, I haven't.
Okay.
Oh, I never mentioned this, but the 1,500, 15,000, 10,000. That's how many points you have to start to make your choices.
I wouldn't read into that too much.
No, don't read into it that
I
much
wouldn't read into
because
that too much.
we
No, no.
balanced it out. But
Don't worry about it.
I will say that emerging from shelter will have more choices.
I'll pick adventuring from home.
Adventuring from home. Okay.
Cool.
2 for adventuring at home, 1 for shelter. I guess from
Yeah.
home then.
Yeah, sounds good.
The DM
Just
is
writing
not
down your
disappointed.
choice. All right. So that leaves me to read something else from this. So the campaign now starts no. I'm changing that. 2 centuries after humanity left the bunkers. After humans, elves, and dwarves left the bunkers. Now, the bunkers are still kind of used, but they're not used super often. They're mainly used for like escape shelters if like a natural disaster is coming or something like that. Now, due to the fact that you guys chose this one, you all were born and raised outside of the shelters. No matter what race you were born outside of the shelter, inside of a city or a town or a little village that you guys will be creating together. Let me switch back over to this. As we scroll down and skip through that, because you decided this. Okay, so adventuring from home, you have 10,000 points to start with. And I forgot to grab a calculator like I was going to.
Oh no, I guess we're just lost forever.
Balls.
There's no way we can work with numbers.
Shoot. All right, give me 2 seconds to grab my
I
calculator.
mean, I've got my phone on hand.
Oh, I have a phone on hand too. Why the fuck am I going to go grab a calculator if I have a phone right in my fucking pocket?
I actually just thought you were gonna type calculator into the bottom left corner of your computer and have it literally be on
Or
screen.
that.
No, because then Discord takes away the resources from showing the audience the document from me screen sharing. So it's a fine line of balancing resources on my computer right now.
That's fun.
Of like 10 different things. All right, so the red options are mandatory. You have to choose one of them. There are 2 sets of red choices. You have the town size and you have the radiation level. You have to choose one of those. The blue are either or choices. So if you choose one, you can't choose the other. The highlighted bits, so if you look at how shops is highlighted, the highlighted point totals, those are your shops. So if you choose a small town, you can only choose 2 of the highlighted options. If you choose a medium town, you can only choose 3. If you choose a large town, you can only choose 5. Okay? The market square combines multiple. It excludes all blacksmiths. So the basic, the weapons, and the armor blacksmith are disqualified. However, general store, magic supply, tailor, alchemy shop, those can all be combined into the market square. However, with that, you'll have a little bit of a limited option because you'll just have like market stalls to choose from. So you won't have like a full humongous list of goods to choose from. It'll be a little more narrowed down. But you don't have to choose the general store to get it into the market square. It's kind of just automatic.
Cool.
So you don't have to waste your points on that kind of thing. The market square kind of covers your bases a bit. Already? Let the debates begin.
Okay. So, I vote we decide on a general direction that we want to spend our points in, and then we start picking individual options.
Okay. Are
So would
we
you
two
guys want a technology-focused hometown, a magic-focused hometown, or a mix? Wait, does this one have enough? Does this one have enough technology options to make that?
This
that
one has like
reasonable?
no technology options.
Okay, never mind.
Technology for this one is kind of capped at a certain point, and I will explain that in a minute.
Okay, cool. The
So,
how friendly to magic do we want our town to be?
a little bit friendly, right? I guess.
That's-
At least
That's
like
fair.
these are not gonna burn us when we use like a cantrip, right?
We don't want the Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still play a magical character and just be in the Salem witch trials.
That's true.
It's a very
That's true.
particular story.
Yeah,
But like,
let's
you have to be
talk
down
to
for
that.
specifically that.
So yeah, I mean, what
I'm cool
what is our
for being like, if we wanted our town to be particularly magic friendly, and then we walk everywhere else and find out that people are scared.
that'd be a fun way to play.
That would be.
Question though,
Cool.
like if we will get more points, right? That's like
Nope.
eventually we'll have nope. Okay.
No.
No, this
I
is,
mean, town will
mean-
develop over time, but that's over like
Okay.
decades and stuff. Like this is
Gotcha.
your starting base. How developed has the town been?
and like if we don't have a blacksmith, we might be able to travel to somewhere that does.
But if we
Yeah,
choose
yeah.
like the large town, that's basically it. So we can't choose that.
We can.
You can.
Yeah.
Me and
The one-
Chaos went through and we balanced this thing
I
pretty
made
good.
sure that there weren't any options that were secretly non-options.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no. We went through and we balanced this thing pretty good. We spent a good like 2 hours balancing both
Gotcha,
options
okay.
pretty good. So
Right.
this whole thing is really balanced to your
Okay.
guys' favor.
So
The
we definitely should have. Okay. Do we want to play in a world where if we have magic, we are like we gotta keep it low key, which would be cool. I like that. That sounds fun. It makes me want to play a magic player like that.
I'm I'm leaning towards the concept of our town is the only one that's okay with magic, and then we go everywhere else and find out. Whoa, wait.
Okay,
You don't
that sounds.
really have that decision though.
So
Oh wait,
magic-
is that? I mean, but if we have a magic shop
Yeah.
and we have a
So what would the magic shop be? Would it be like magic items or?
It would be a supply store, so it'd be like magical components and things. You might find the odd scroll every now and again with a magic spell on it, but mainly just supplies. Like it says,
Oh.
magic supply store.
All right.
Here's
Are
a
we-
general question. In the last 2,000 years or whatever, has it become obvious that the gods are like blatantly real?
No.
Oh.
Okay.
I
so we
like
can
that
be a
question.
cleric.
I like that question. It has not been blatantly obvious. However, religions still exist. So,
they-
one religion that has, I will say, one religion that has grown in terms of popularity would be paganism. Catholicism is still around. Judaism's still
Oh, so if we pick a
around.
cleric, we're picking a cleric of like real life religion.
Yeah, like there are some real life religions that are still around. Others, like the more culty ones, those kind of died out with the nuclear war.
You're telling me Scientology doesn't exist in this world anymore?
Scientology still exists. Scientology
Oh.
is huge as fuck. Have you not seen how big
no.
Scientology is?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. In this world, this D&D world, Scientology still exists.
It still exists for the one reason that please don't find me, please don't kill me.
Okay, fair enough. Um,
Okay.
No.
well, I think we need
Well-
I think we need a super church then.
All right, so
We'll lean.
let's start first. Do we want a small, big, or medium town?
I'm guessing a large town is harder to protect if we have a large town.
You have no obligation to protect this town.
Oh, okay.
It's
But if it,
the actual trade-off here
Mhm.
is that it's difficult to have a large town fill it up to where you're actually using it because the only benefit is the extra shop, and have like good radiation for us,
okay.
and having you're basically being like, we want shops. Shops are good. Let's have shops.
Okay, yeah.
So you're doing large?
I'm.
I think
I would
large.
actually want to answer first.
Go ahead.
What kind of radiation are we okay with? Because that'll. Probably not all that
I
expensive.
mean, I would be. I don't want radiation.
I mean, we can just choose no radiation.
Which is 1,000.
I would say low to no.
We don't. How does radiation affect us? Is it like the disease thing? If I pick immunity to disease for like
So-
a race or
If you choose high radiation, the longer you are outside, the more levels of exhaustion you will gain. Up to death. But you have to be outside for a pretty long time to die from it.
well,
Medium
say-
still has that, and it seems like low radiation just affects the water and probably the eating.
Yeah, water and food are more difficult. So, like, crops won't grow as much because of the toxic water. But you'll still have crops to grow if you choose to get a farm.
okay. Well, we definitely want at least low. Then
At least low.
Yeah.
at least.
I'm-
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards low, just unless you guys want characters that are going to walk out and be like, "What's radiation?"
Yeah, that's actually a good call. If I go out there and I don't know what that is with no radiation. Low
Your
radiation.
characters would still know what radiation is, you just wouldn't be in an area affected by it.
Oh, I mostly meant if someone wanted to make a character that was clueless.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the main reason to pick.
Well, having
So we go on
radiation.
low radiation.
Yeah, so we're going low radiation.
Low radiation. Okay.
And that's what, 600? Alright, you got 9,400 points left.
I should probably act as well. So, town.
We can start just picking shops, and then if we want, like, depending on how many we want, pick town size off that.
I'm assuming survival is very important in this world. Like getting a
I
long
imagine
rest.
it depends.
But getting a long rest, getting food might be very useful. I don't like. DM, can you give us a hint on that?
Yes, very important. There
Will
are
I not
going
get
to be so there are going to be items with stipulations that they will shield radiation and stuff. They are expensive, but they are there. Mainly like tents and whatnot. Sleeping or just like resting outside without any sort of protection can be very dangerous.
And so I think we should definitely have an easier way for us to have water and food, like relatively at all times, so we can have food outside if we need to.
I would I would say that the two main ways to do that are either to make sure that our hometown has a farm
Yep.
and such, or to make our town be a popular trading place.
So I will say the basic farm, the crops that you see are what is grown. So wheat, corn, cotton, and rice. So you got bread, rice, corn
T-shirt.
to eat, and you have cotton for like clothing and stuff. With advanced farm, you will get more options, different grains, different types of like foods and stuff like cabbages and things like that. You'll be able to grow.
But is nutrition something we're gonna have to worry about if we just
Nutrition, no. I'm not going that nitty gritty. Yeah, I'm not making you calorie count over here.
Just making sure.
I'm just saying with the basic farm you get like basic food like rice, bread, and like corn.
Yeah, I know, but rice and bread is life.
That is very true. I love my rice and bread.
We definitely need at least a basic farm.
Okay, we can just go ahead and say we have a basic farm then.
Basic
Okay.
farm. Are we livestocking then? Milk, meat, and then like horses if we need horses.
Livestock does not include horses. Livestock would be cows, pigs,
Are horses around, like, at all?
sheep. There are somewhat some horses. They are not really what you would think of a horse, but I guess they're kind of around.
Mutants.
Yes, exactly.
I'll actually point out a major one that's going to be a huge eat on our points if we want it. How social do we want our town to be? Trade with other villages very common, or occasional traveling trader, or basically picking neither, so almost no one can spy.
Uh, I mean, trading with other villagers is probably the best.
Yeah, it's 5,000 though. It's literally
Yeah,
half.
I know.
It's a
So, like,
lot because it's
I-
really
I'm
good.
Yeah,
I'm actually still partial to getting it just because
I
having
agree.
a town that's social, it sounds
Yeah.
fun.
And
So-
you know, just in case we don't have stuff in our shop that we forget about, like middle through the session. I mean, like through the game. So it's like, oh, thank God we can trade.
Yeah, okay. Let's go for trade with other villages common then.
5,000.
That'll put us at 4,100 left.
I got 4,200.
4,200.
Okay, cool. I just did very, very quick.
You didn't do the basic farm.
Okay. The
Should we trade if we're common? If we're getting more trade, we should definitely get some high value trading stuff from our shops then, or
I
our
mean, food is high value if we're producing it. Like, I think all of these are technically high value.
Yes.
Do we?
Go ahead.
Ooh.
Do you need?
Do we have anyone who would really want to make sure that we have the different blacksmiths? Or we could have a market square and just see what stuff we end up with.
The market
That's a
square
random.
does not include blacksmiths, though.
Oh yeah, sorry. That was the only one it doesn't include? I thought that was
that
an example.
does not
of
include
No.
blacksmiths, as
If I
well
take
as the fact that the trading with other villages, without a market square, it will only restock your stores. So it'll restock your stores much more often compared to if you have a market square, they'll do both, but they'll also sell you stuff.
I think a market square would be fun then. It'll
Yeah, we're gonna go
again
market
eat a
square.
lot of cost, but so that we can have a market square.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
I agree.
2200.
We have to pick a size. I'm imagining that we're either going to go with small or medium, since I don't think we're getting more than one or two more shops.
Yeah.
What does an inn do for us?
An inn will allow an inn will allow not just traders to come trade, but other people as well. So you'll have a little bit of a more diverse population come through rather than just rich traders coming in and going. As well as the fact that it gives traders an incentive to come because you have a place for them to stay.
Do we have enough points to grab medium, and then
We have 7. So we have 2200 right now. Am I correct, DM?
Yep.
So that's 750. Now this is the hard.
We'll be over by 50 if we do both an inn and the medium town.
well, I was actually thinking of a medium and then several blacksmiths, mostly because I'm worried about if any of us wants to play a martial character.
Well,
We
actually,
can't
we
get
should probably.
weapons from the market
Yeah,
square.
that's true. But if we become a blacksmith, that means we can, if we take the trade blacksmith. DM,
Oh, yeah. Since we have trade with other common villagers and the market square, is there any chance of armor and weapons ever showing up?
There is. There is a small chance. But it is not going to be very common, and they are going to be expensive, and they're not going to be like regular weapons.
If we have no weapons store and like someone is a marshal, do they still have access to things like clubs and whatever
You will have access.
weapons that are essentially just tools?
So, where's our points at right now? I did a lot of
2200.
2200. Okay.
So you
Blacksmith
could.
is 500, right?
Does this also actually does this affect our starting equipment? Like if we don't have if their town doesn't have access to something, we can't
No,
grab it at the
I'm
start.
gonna let you use the starting equipment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Starting equipment
if we're
won't matter,
playing
but
a
like,
fighter, we can just have a weapon, even though
yes,
we might have to come up with an excuse of how we got it.
Well,
you
can
can
we not take
scavenge
the,
it.
yeah. Can we not take the large town for 1000 and then
Well,
take the blacksmith for 500?
That does not create weapons.
Oh, that does not create.
The basic
okay.
blacksmith is kind of
Okay.
there for more of like character background type of thing, but it's also there because that's gonna be like the blacksmith that makes like your hinges, your door handles, things like that.
Gotcha. So 2200 minus 1000. We'll have 1200 left.
oh, I'll go ahead and mention the other blue pairing. I would vote for we pick a town built within old rundown buildings from the old world.
Yeah.
It's
Just
free.
same point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got 1200 if we take the blacksmith that can make weapons. Do we need an armor blacksmith though?
I'm less worried about that now that we know that we'll get starting equipment.
Okay.
Like, so you can be like, oh, like our town doesn't sell weapons, but this was my sword handed down through generations or found
So-
somewhere doing X.
So if we take the large town and the blacksmith that makes weapons, we'll have 200 points freebies still.
Well, no, I wouldn't do a large town. I would just stick to medium because
Okay.
we're only at 2 shops, right?
You're
Yeah,
at
but we
one
have the
shop.
yeah, but we have the market square, right?
Yeah, the
But
market square.
the square is one shop.
The square is counts as one shop.
Okay.
So we're gonna be lucky if we meet the 3 maximum that a medium has.
Okay, so we have 450 now. If we
With the
take the medium
medium,
shop
you'd have 1450.
and then we take the 1000 for the black weapons blacksmith.
You'd have 450.
Okay, yep, 450.
Is there any shops that you guys particularly want?
So
I will say if you go with this route, alchemy would be a good one because you'd have access to some like healing potions and things and other
that's true.
type
Very
of
possible.
healing
Yeah.
items with the alchemy. If you go medium town blacksmith, you can do the alchemy shop and get some like support items kind of thing.
And the general store, what would that sell? Like rope, crowbar,
Yeah.
I guess, stuff like that. Is there?
Some little bits of food, but because you have the farm, you're able to just buy stuff from the farmers themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
We could do general store and alchemy shop. Oh, I did realize you might as well make town as medium 800 cost because there's no way we
Yeah,
can
I was
spend the
thinking
last
about that.
50.
I was thinking about that.
There's literally no way we can spend the last 50.
Yeah,
That's DM's cool.
yeah, I was
Gives
thinking
us
about that.
an inn. I would like the inn though. I think the inn's actually kind of useful.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna
It
make
would be
it
nice. I'm okay
700
dropping the
instead.
weapons blacksmith. Now that we know
Really?
that we can get weapons without it.
Yeah.
I'll do 700 instead. Give you a clean 1500
Ooh.
if you choose the
Okay.
medium.
Yeah, if you guys want to do medium market square and then like in and something
Alchemy
else.
shop to buy potions. Are prices different in your world then? I assume.
We're using D&D pricing.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
We're using D&D pricing guides for this type of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the alchemy shop and the inn.
Yeah.
That would be fun. And then like we might get lucky through market square stuff, but also just we have our starting equipment anyways. We don't have to worry about like,
Yeah.
oh darn, I'm a wizard that doesn't have access to a wand.
Let me
What if
make
we-
sure really quickly. We are confirming that we're taking the medium town, correct?
Yes.
At least, yeah.
Okay. Medium town. Okay. And then you said with the inn and the alchemy shop,
Yeah, in the market square.
so then you'd
I think
have
you probably already have.
800. But the inn doesn't count as a shop.
Oh yeah, it's just a thing. Okay.
It's just a thing.
Then the other things we can have.
So you have
Huh?
800 and you have one shop left. So you could choose a general store, or you could go with the armor route, or you could do a tailor.
If we choose a general store, then we'd be able to do either an advanced farm or a.
That's true.
It's not a bad idea.
I think that sounds good. A general store and upgrade to an advanced farm.
Okay, so we're doing advanced farm. Let me just do this so I can get my points correct. Advanced farm. We're doing the inn.
And now the advanced farm is making things for the alchemy shop. Hooray!
We're doing the general store.
Yeah.
And if we ever like, oh no, I lost my weapon, by a crowbar.
I'm also thinking that like if we come up to the rare situations where it's like, oh, I lost a weapon, we have a town square with regular visitors. We can
Yeah.
see if we get lucky and find a new one. And I actually find that more fun to
Yeah, that does sound fun.
not know what we have access to.
I'm more.
I do have one quick question.
Yes.
Seeing as how this is post-apocalyptic, I assume that there would be some form of firearm.
There
Ooh,
is.
stick.
Good luck finding bullets.
Fair enough.
Good luck finding any type of bullets.
But
Because
it's
you
kind
really
of.
won't find any.
Oh
Alright.
man, did they? I
gotta
presume technology was lost to do like gunpowder.
A good bit of technology. I would say, well, the making of gunpowder definitely can't do that
Okay,
anymore.
that's the thing. Like if you can make it, which it isn't all that hard if you know very, very, very specific things,
Yeah, but
you
that
can
kind
suddenly
of,
start doing muskets.
because of how the world was so automated beforehand, that kind of knowledge of how to hand mix gunpowder is like gone.
There's no,
But
there's no Dr. Stone in this world.
fair
It
enough.
died out at this point.
But
Oh, that was a good reference.
if I find like a 1997 Honda Civic and the manual for it, can I restore it?
Good luck finding parts.
We'll just make it
Oh my
over.
god, I wish we had a blacksmith. Ow.
We can still travel to get things and get lucky and stuff like
Alright.
that. But
Yeah.
I will make.
did we spend basically everything that's reasonable?
How much
Do I have like
points do
100
we have
left
left?
or something?
You have 100 points left, which
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
nothing's
think
100
lets
points.
you do anything.
Yeah, we could. We needed basic farm to be able to get advanced farm, right?
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
So,
I think we're good.
ending that over here. So, I have a couple things to do
We're in a
here
social town.
really quickly.
Social diverse town.
So let's see. One of the things you guys didn't choose livestock, so there's no meat, butter.
And we also it's I presume radiation drinking water means that hunting meat is kinda nah.
I mean, monster meat's monster meat.
Oh, but I mean like so okay, it's not going to be like, ooh, eating radiated meat is poisonous.
No.
Okay, cool.
One of the two things that you guys didn't do is religion is runs the town and magic is forbidden.
Left those off.
Well,
So,
I don't want magic to be forbidden. And where are we? What like country are we gonna be starting at? I guess.
you'll find out in 2 seconds.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
We're gonna be starting in new country. New landmass showed up.
It's been 2 seconds. I don't know yet. Oh no.
I'm gonna start in like Hawaii. I'm like, wow.
That would be something.
Man, we regularly trade with people and we're on
That will be in Australia.
I also like yeah, we're in the ruins of a city. We were able to make farms, but in a slightly radiated area.
If we are in Australia, if all our enemies are emus, I would totally understand. I'm like, I get it. If they are a nuisance, I guess. The war continues after thousands of years.
Oh god, mutated
Australia
emus.
would do decently well in a post-apocalypse, because
Yeah.
a lot of the fallout and stuff would stay mostly in the northern hemisphere, and they are one of the few that wouldn't economically horribly fall apart. If
Yeah.
the world stopped trading with them.
Fair enough, yeah. I don't know what Australian resources they have though. They're probably pretty good, right? Resources.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Five,
They
six,
they
seven.
They got all that wildlife that's famous, but yeah, they're pretty good for internal
Like-
resources.
Yeah, if they just want to.
I wonder if I can roll a d7.
They are getting hit pretty hard by global warming, but
Yeah,
I
but
imagine you can do custom inputs like that with the dice roller.
Oh, Avery?
6.
what you looking for?
rolling a d7.
Yeah, you can do that.
3, 4, 5, 6.
I enjoy. You can be like, roll
All right.
One
This is what we
D7.
got.
1d7 plus 3 advantage. Oh, and I don't
Okay.
think I rolled.
Nothing happens.
Jesus Christ!
know
I
if I can-
didn't think this was that it would get to that. Okay. Sure. Okay.
I'm curious now.
All right. Well, I just rolled on religions
Oh no.
and on the
Oh.
fate of magic, and of course I get this combination.
Hmm.
Why? Why would I? Why would I not think it'd be this combination?
I hope it's.
All right.
You
So
can, if it doesn't make sense, you don't have to follow it. Like,
I know, but the
random
dice
tables
have
are great and all.
the dice have
Random tables
rollen.
are great and all, but making them react to what the other dice rolled is also fine too.
But it'll be funny.
It works too perfectly, and I can't.
Oh, okay,
not
never
do
mind.
it.
Then in that case, you're stuck with it. I thought it didn't work at all. And
No,
you're
it
having trouble
works
making
too
it work.
perfectly.
Wait, let me guess. No magic in Scientology.
Oh,
You're close, but no dice.
Ooh.
So, religion has a minor influence on the town's culture and
Okay.
atmosphere. A minor, which
Weird.
is good, because they are completely against magic, and they are also Mormon.
Oh Jesus. I really wasn't that far off.
You really weren't.
so like, there's a bunch of soda bars around. Like,
I will say, Mormonism has. My
Thrive?
take on Mormonism is going to be different than others, so I'm gonna have it be that they are pretty strictly against. They are completely against magic, and they want the world to go back to the way it was before.
Okay.
That is their mission. They are demonizing the world around them currently, being like everything was better back in the age of technology and whatnot.
Meanwhile, we have a thriving trading city around them with only minimal problems with radiation and plenty of food.
that's how
Correct.
they get them.
Yep.
They're thriving, and they're like, "Hey, you want to live like us?"
Oh no,
Just
I just find
what?
it funny. Like, oh, we're thriving. Everything sucks.
Yeah, that was not a combination I was expecting. I was actually expecting Scientology. Scientology was the 7th choice, which is why I needed to roll a d7.
Man, you just
The
expect
urge
high
to-
rolls.
The urge to play a cleric that goes out on adventures to spread the word.
Oh God! All right.
Yeah,
so
I have to
Team of
admit,
clerics, guys.
I really like clerics and druids in D&D. I might not be playing a cleric of Mormonism.
Hold on. How would that
Sorry.
work though? Because if they are strongly against magic and clerics are magic based.
No. That's
Are
the power of
they-
God. good
Okay, yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Are
fair
they
enough.
strongly against magic, or are they strongly against arcane magic?
all magic.
Okay, so even divine?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
funny.
They do not know the distinction between the two. Most people in this world will not know the distinction between the two.
I mean, the distinction is claiming that their religion is the thing doing it.
Yes.
But they're slightly religious, I guess. You know what I mean? They're like
They're just a bunch of conservatives.
yeah, they're just like
Yeah, they just hate the world around them.
they're just like, oh man, everyone has to have 2.5 kids and a lawn.
Way to go,
Oh,
China.
you had 3 kids.
Um,
That's too many.
Anyways, let me explain the rest of the world in terms of technology. So, in terms of technology, all modern tech pretty much doesn't work. Anything to do with cell phones, radios, satellite, it's like connection to satellites don't do anything anymore. Use radiation, bounce back and forth.
There's interference in radio waves, and anything that uses radio waves doesn't work.
Yep.
No electrical grid.
However, computers still work to a degree. So you can still work on a computer. There's no internet though. There's no like any of that kind of stuff. Power, like the electrical grid, is pretty kaput. There are sections with power. There are places with power.
Ooh.
With the town
Wait,
itself.
Did you ever
Yes.
tell us what country we're in?
Nope, not yet. The town
Okay.
itself will have a little bit of power. However, that power is mostly used by the filtration system for the water.
What is it powered by?
It is powered by solar panels that were salvaged that still work.
Cool. Okay.
So, solar energy still kind of works, but it generates very little power, and they have no way to store it. So during the night, they kind of block off the inflow of water, and during the day, it reopens and gets filtered. Now, there are several underground communities that still remain underground. They refuse to look at the outside world and such.
Teenagers of the Mormon kids.
I guess so. So you all gotta bring up Google Maps here, because that will basically be the map for this thing. There's a tool there's a website that does like simple maps to get rid of a lot of the markings and stuff that I'm gonna use whenever I have to show the map on stream. But you all will be in a town now known as Sunny Valley, and you will exist within what is modern day Simi Valley, California.
Neat.
Yes. A city where I know very well. The town is mainly on the northern part of it, of what is modern day Simi Valley. Mainly in the northern half of the city. Oh yeah, I wanted to try that bliss. With that said, world building is done, so we will start doing character creation. And with that, I will bid you all adieu.
Bye.
Bye.